Hello, and welcome to Chief Architect Workshop. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks. Okay, hello. Today we're going to be working on the CAD menu, and we're going to cover everything up to spline in this video. Just your basic CAD elements, starting off with points. For a beginner, we really don't need to worry about placing a point, endpoint point, point marker, delete temporary points. Let's not worry about this if you're a beginner. Lines. Yeah, this is some cool stuff. Drawing a line, pretty basic stuff. This is probably the only one I use from this menu is the draw line. Node input, line with arrow, disconnect edges, create line style. Nah, not necessary to worry about if you're a beginner. Draw a line. Yeah, start with a point. Right there. You can snap to that one, go down, find that again, come across. It really didn't connect. So what happens when they're not connected, they're not a continuous line. These are separate elements, and this one is two elements. Now if we wanted to connect all three and make it a line, we just sort of scooch that down to there, get that, and now it's one line, and we can have fun with it. We can change the color. Let's make it red. Let's change it to 70 just for fun. And there's the red line. Click over here on our line weight menu, and now you see a big bold red line, which is great for printing. For working, usually keep that off. All right, for a beginner, the next would be the arc. This is just a little too advanced. Hardly ever use these. Every once in a while I use that. And most of the time when I want to draw an arc, I use the fillet command. So let's show how the fillet command really works. Okay, let's work on the fillet command. We have our famous line, our red line. Let's stretch it up so we have a little bit more room to work on our fillet. And we've picked that line. We go to the fillet radius, fillet command. Go to the fillet radius, and 12 is nice. Just keep it there. So we've set the radius, and fillet there. So let's pick that guy there, fillet there, fillet there. Yellow, we need to fillet. Work with me, Mr. Fillet. There we go. So that's sort of useful use of the arc. You control it. You know what the radius is. You get it to line up with things. So that's something useful for a beginner. Another useful CAD command would be the circle command. These are not that useful for beginner. I have a circle. We can pick it. Say we want to indicate that to be a sonotube. Yeah, let's pick it. Go to there. And we can say we want a 12-inch radius, 12-inch diameter sonotube actually. The radius would be 6. There we go. And say we want to make it indicate that is concrete. So we go fill style. Let's pick some concrete. Let's see how that looks. See if that looks right to scale. Only one little triangle showing. Yeah, let's change the fill to about 0.5. So we got a little more things going there. Yeah, now that kind of looks concrete-y. All right. All right, let's talk about the rectangular polyline. There it is. Very useful for all sorts of things. Because with the rectangular polyline, We can break it, use our break tool, break it, and you will be using this tool left and right once you get the hang of it, and it works with slabs, with all sorts of other stuff, with all sorts of other polyline, solid, slab. Works really nice. It works the same way. Roof planes, ceiling planes. So we'll get an example of that. So we can break it. Let's break it a little bit more. So put a break in it there. Then you can just grab that handle, kind of do that with it, scooch it there, come back, go there, go, oh, gotta miss that guy, scooch it there. So rectangular polyline works out peachy. Let me show you an example. All right, in this example, the ceiling plane is rendered in blue. Fill is blue with a transparency. And this is getting a little advanced, but there it is. And that shows where the panels, the roof panels, actually are hung off the back of this parapet wall and sit on the top of that wall. So blue represents where the panels go, how they notch around this wall here. And we just use our break lines to get it to where we want, stretch it to where we want it to. So wait a minute, no, we want that to go over the top. And it'll snap to the end there. So that's an example. All right, let's quickly go over the rectangular polygon, which is this guy here. Number of sides. Yeah, an octagon is good. 8 sides is good. This is cool. Let's say we want to make them all exactly 4 feet. Zap that there. Boom. And then we can pop that guy into place. Say we have a octagon tower and we want it to go into this corner of the octagon tower. It has to be at this point. That's how we position it. We can grab it, use our point-to-point tool. Touch that point, and now we positioned our octagon tower exactly where we want it. All right, now let's move on to the box. Box is great because instead of a rectangular polyline, it keeps it locked in at 90 degrees, which makes it great for framing members, pseudo framing members, for detailing in. Let's say it's a 2x10. Say the height of the 2x10, 9.25, which is your actual dimension of a 2x10. So now I say that signifies a 2x10, and let's say it has a sloped, and it has to match this pitch, which is a 1/4 inch per foot. 2x10 is slope and 1/4 inch per foot. So we grab that. We use a perpendicular tool. Point to something that's perpendicular to that. Hello. Give me something perpendicular, will you? That lines up there. Let's say that one. And now it's at the 1/4 inch. And now we can slide it. Now it's exactly a 1/4 inch, because this is exactly a 1/4 inch. And we can use our fill commands, whatever we need to do to render it up. So the box is a very cool 2D tool. Okay, let's talk about the cross box. The cross boxes, which would represent a 2x lumber. So let's say we need to draw a plate. You can turn them into components, make some components, but I just typically will just create my own and then just copy it at every drawing session. So let's say the height would be 1.5 by 5.5 for our treated plate. And you can enter 5.5 or 5 and 1.5. It all is the same. And there's our plate. And that plate, I like to color it in a little bit. I like to use a fill punch it out a little bit, but not too much. So I'll go to the gray, and I'll go like about this guy, and then it gives it, lets it read a little bit nicer when you print it. And now you can just copy this all over the place anytime you want a plate, and you can point to point move it by eye. Here's the plate's brother, howdy bro, right there, and you can rotate it and turn it into this member, because now it's 1.5 by 9 1/4, and now you got your block there, and you can copy it and do whatever you want. And see how the box properties keeps that at 90. And here's a box that's 1/2 inch that signifies plywood that got paralleled at 1/4 inch per foot and slid into place. Blocking blocks, when you just got to put a little block in there. Actually, this should be a blocking box. Nah. Yeah, let's say so that's the same deal. CAD, box, blocking box, and that just shows one line. Let's say we're going to make that out of 3/4 or 1.5 inch. That's fine. Let's say we use a 2x4 for that. 1.5 times 3.5, and we got a 2x4 blocking box. And we can slide that blocking box, wherever we want to into position. All right, now I'll show you a cool way to pop in insulation whenever you need it. Boxes, insulation, but first, let's just click insulation. And let's say we want to insulate the stud cavity here. So we just go there. Let's say this is studs. And as you draw, it'll draw the insulation in there. So that's a pretty nifty little tool. And I'd say for the other two, let's not worry about revision cloud. Maybe just throw that on the layout sheet as you revise something. Let's say we wanted to revise this. So there it is, being revised. Revision cloud. But spline, let's not worry about that for a beginner. So that's it. Bunch of fun 2D tools. The only thing about Chief with 2D, I always work in this view, but you can go over here, and this is the line weight view. You can see that you can't really work in this view if you're trying to punch out, say, the membrane here, or the sheet metal for the gutter, and the metal wrap around 2x, but they're there, and they'll look nice when it gets plotted. Thank you for checking out Chief Architect Workshop. Please remember to go to our YouTube channel, Chief Architect Workshop, and subscribe.